Alright, what's up, you guys? Happy 4th. Um, I'm not sure how long we're going to be streaming today, but we're going to stream for quite a bit. Um, let's get into some reactions. And we are going to play some games here, too. What exactly we're going to play is probably just UFC. But other than that, yeah, we'll see what we have in store. We will see what we have. We will see what we have in store. There's a new caravan of garbage. I'm gonna watch that for sure. If you guys have any ideas on videos, just let me know. I'm never opposed to ideas. Oh no. Watch Moist video. Pop that one. We're gonna get some videos queued up and ready. Okay. I don't know how much. And we'll end on a good note here. End on a jet video. Alright. Let's go full screen. It's the Elgato wanting to go. Okay, we'll deactivate the Elgato for now. Alright.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of
Make sure it
Caravan of
sounds
Garbage, where
good.
we're taking
Sounds
a look
good.
at the
Okay.
Wolverine trilogy of films.
Yes!
Has there ever been a series of movies where they get steadily better?
Or like a trilogy that gets better? I don't know. It's a real reversal of fortune, isn't it?
Most franchises, you wouldn't give them this opportunity. If they release this, like apropos of nothing,
Yeah.
just out of the blue, no. You don't get another one, Bloodshot.
Whoa.
Anyways, leave a like, because we're, of course, talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That's right.
The first in what was supposed to be a series of X-Men prequel origin movies.
This was the big one. This is the first one that's going to kick off the whole era, single character origin movies. To some degree, we got it in another form. We got X-Men First Class, which gave us, the origins of
I like X-Men
Magneto
First
and
Class.
Professor X. We sort of got, subsequently, we've gotten very small origins for characters multiple times. We've had Cyclops' origin 2 or 3 times. I guess.
Hold on. We're gonna. Why is it? Yeah, we're gonna pop that
Yes,
up.
to some degree. I mean, we get some of it in this.
True. He was in a jail and a school, and then he
That's
ran
right.
away. Then he
That's
ran
right.
to a helicopter.
He's a tortured soul. The true indignity of having to write out 100 lines as a high school student in your mid to late 20s.
Oh my god.
But anyway, I've got some notes here. Sometimes I write
did
notes,
change
sometimes I don't write
Cyclops'
notes. Sometimes I
story
lose my
quite a
notes,
bit,
but then
huh?
I find them because this one says, I can't believe I have to watch this again. That's my first note of this.
Is that because we've done a movie commentary for it already?
And we've watched it in our own private time.
That's true.
And we've probably talked about it on our podcast, The Weekly Planet. We've talked about here's the best and worst superhero. Here's the best and worst X-Men movies. Let's talk about the X-Men chronology. Let's talk about the timeline. What's canonical
Have
and
there's
what's
ever
not.
been a trilogy where the
Damn.
trilogy gets better?
I'm sick to death of it, James. I'm like a man on his deathbed, slowly realizing that he's
I
seen
didn't
the
think
faces
Origins
of
was
his
that bad.
coworkers more than the faces of his children. But in this case, my co-workers is the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, And my
Maybe that's just like
children
a
is
stale
all my
opinion, and
cool
I was
jackets.
really young when it
Can't
came out.
wear currently because I'm in this little room.
Like,
So
what
the
year
way
did that
this
movie come
happened
out? Like
was
09?
During the filming of X-Men 2.
Yes.
They went, oh, there's a bit of X-Men origin Wolverine in this because you see the facility, he has some flashbacks, you know, you visit it, he has a big punch-up with the Lady Wolverine, Lady
sure.
Strike Force?
No, none of those.
What's her name?
Lady Deathstroke.
Lady Deathstroke.
I'm gonna look
2009.
that
I
up.
was 9 when it came
Tell
out.
him how wrong he is in the
So, I
comments,
mean-
folks.
I was going to say, you'll let that slide, but nobody else
I
will.
know.
That's right.
So
What I
much
remember,
like
I
tell
liked it.
a
I
story
enjoyed it.
Set in Japan before the X-Men movies, and we'll do like the Silver Samurai and the Love Interest and all of that.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that sounds familiar, that's the next movie.
Uh-huh.
The studio said no.
No.
Let's take it right back
Yes.
to Bone Claws. So Hugh Jackman's production company Seed Productions got on board for this. Also, they've done 2 movies. This and the movie Deception, which is also apparently a bad movie. I haven't seen it.
Really?
According to David Benioff, who wrote this,
Oh, one of the guys, one of the Game of Thrones guys.
one of the GOT bros.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, this also happened during the writer's strike, so a lot of this was thrown out. The original script was influenced by the Wolverine comics from 1982, Weapon X from 1991, and the Origin Wolverine comic from 2001.
Oh, that's a gross
Gavin
picture.
Wood, of course, directed this.
You say, of course, like anybody
Of
remembers.
course,
I had to
he
look it
was
up.
handpicked by Hugh Jackman, but he was battling with executives the entire time. One of the
That
most
sucks.
famous stories was that an executive by the name of Tom Rothman had a set repainted from darker to lighter because he didn't like it. Richard Donner had to get flown out. His wife, Lauren Schuler Donner, produced this. Richard Donner directed the first 2-ish Superman movies.
Sure,
The second,
right.
it's a whole story, we've talked about them. So he was flown in to like ease tensions. It was a nightmare.
Hey, everybody, shut up. I directed Superman. And settle down. Go to your corners. It's me, Richard Donner.
How do you feel though about explaining Wolverine's origin, and not just here, but in the comics also?
I've never liked it.
Yeah?
I like the idea that he's a man with a mysterious past. He exists now, and we see snippets of his past, and some of it.
Snickets.
Oh, Snickers.
No.
I prefer the idea that he is here now, and we don't know what happened. He's got fragments of memories, and we don't know what's real and what has been manufactured by the Weapon X program, and etc. And then,
You don't need to know he's a fancy little boy.
No, throughout the 80s and the 90s, in X-Men comic books and in his own solo series, we got little bits of it. To me, that was interesting, and again, I kind of feel like, and I've said this before, but I kind of feel like there is no origin that the actual comic book creators can give us, or the movie producers can give us, that is as interesting and intriguing as we can imagine for ourselves.
As nothing.
As nothing, exactly. That's right,
Yeah.
We know he was part of the Weapon X program, and he was part of like a secret strike force.
There's
And
that
we-
imagery where he's wearing like the computer on his head, and
He's got a
and all
computer
the-
on his
all
head.
the cords and whatever. That's all you need.
We've connected his brain directly to a virtual boy.
To Virtual Boy.
Wall.
And
I
you
think
know-
we're on the right track.
Ooh,
and we know he
that video,
was in
man.
World War II, and maybe
Yeah.
he met Captain America, and that's kind of.
I remember that
intriguing,
being like one of the
interesting.
funniest
And I
videos
think
as a kid.
that's
Now that
enough.
looks
I
painful.
think maybe that's enough. Although that being said, I think the opening montage of this movie
Oh
is very
my
good.
god, it's amazing. It makes you think this might be a good movie for a second.
I'll tell you what, and you may have
They-
this
I feel like they
information,
just
but
shit
people
on-
May not remember.
I mean,
this
it's called
movie was
Caravan of
leaked. An
Garbage, so I
incomplete
mean-
Oh,
word
yeah.
print of this movie was leaked several months before release, and it came out on the internet. And I remember I acquired a copy of this probably through Hugh Jackman sent it to us.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman said it to
It
us.
was
yeah.
all above board. No, I think you probably sent me a copy. And
No, I never saw the work print
Oh.
of this.
Okay, well, well then
Don't try to implicate me in your
fine.
crimes.
All right, fine. Then, and I got it. I purchased a burnt DVD out of a car boot. Anyway, I watched the opening montage of this. It still had incomplete visual effects and etc. But I remember watching this at the time and going, "This is so incredible. I am not going to watch the rest of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait, and I'm going to spend ticket money at the box office, and I'm going to watch this in cinemas in a few months' time, as it is meant to be seen, because I have faith that, based on this montage, that this is going to be a really good movie." And it isn't.
No, it's a dreadful movie. And you know what I think one of the problems with it is? It's supposed to explore like the psychology of Logan, like is he an animal, is he a man? Like how did he become this way? But he's just a bloke who's angry sometimes. Like who cares? All the behind the scenes stuff is like we want to see the evolution of how he becomes the guy that shows up in the first X-Men. But even though he like lost all these memories and gets the claws, like he's had physical changes, his personality is identical. He's exactly the same. He doesn't go on a journey or an arc. The journey, I guess, for him is he was tricked for a bit.
Yep, that's right. He had a friend, he was a good friend for 100 years, and then
was his brother, maybe.
He's maybe his brother, and then his friend went a little too far. What I did, one thing.
He took too long to figure out he went too far. Like decades of him like murdering innocent people and being like, "Hey, don't do that."
The
Took him to Vietnam. Took him right up to Vietnam to figure it out.
That's right.
Come on, man.
Well, you've been killing everybody. You've been killing people on their side. You've been killing people on our side. You're just swinging wildly and going, woo, I love murder. And, you know, after about 50, 60 years of that, I'm
quite excited for
starting
Sabretooth to be
question
back
motives,
in
Sabretooth.
And the thing about
Deadpool
Logan
Wolverine
is
movie.
He doesn't make any decisions that are deemed
And they have
questionable.
what it looks
There's
like
no
the original
grey
actor
area in
from
it.
the
He kills his dad. He kills his fake.
X-Men
He kills his
movies.
real dad, doesn't he?
But he does it by accident. After he kills his dad, his personality is established.
Great choice on fake dad, by the way.
Bloody
That's an
great.
Australian actor whose name I'm going to get for
Brian
you.
something?
Brian
Peter
Singer.
O'Brien?
It's probably Peter O'Brien. He looks like a Peter O'Brien,
Or
doesn't
does he? Yeah.
Yeah. But, oh, great choice.
So Sabretooth, he was offered a muscle suit, Liev Schreiber.
Okay.
Much like...
But
Vinny-
instead he was like, I'll just keep my shirt on the whole time.
Yeah. He's got some muscles.
Yeah.
Because the Juggernaut from the previous movie, Vinnie Jones, wore a muscle suit, and he's like, "That's humiliating. I'll just work out a little bit." I like his casting.
Yeah.
He does some good killing. There's a moment where he grabs Will.i.am's spine. When he's
Yeah.
trying to teleport. I like that.
He improv that on the day.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, there's all sorts of minor mutant characters showing up. There's Kevin Durand as Blob. There's William I Am as Kestrel. There's
right.
Dominic Monaghan as Chris Bradley.
Great.
Just beautiful stuff.
I like how he transitioned from like special forces guy to just a guy working at a carnival.
Do you appreciate his jacket?
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah.
Thought as a jacket guy, you'd appreciate his jacket. I mean, I guess you don't like all jackets. Is that?
Well, I
what
don't.
you do?
But I mean, you know, you'd think he'd be happier. He got to retire and spend more time with his jacket.
yeah. He's got a girlfriend who
Aw.
tells a really long story about the moon. But
Yeah,
and
that's
she
Silver.
dies.
Yeah, Silver Fox.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff. And of course, Taylor Kitsch is in this as Remy LeBeau.
I'd forgotten he was in this.
I forgot he was in
Gambit.
it as much as he's in it.
I have a note here that says I'd honestly forgotten that Gambit canonically exists in the Fox X-Men universe to the extent anyone is canonical in the Fox X-Men universe. You know what I mean? Where do you go after this? Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But his stuff and the stuff with the Blob feels very video gamey. You're not getting past
Yeah.
me. I'm not telling you the information until you beat me up.
I have a note here that says at about the hour mark of this movie, it just becomes a series of fetch quests and comical misunderstandings. Like, oh, he said bub, but you thought he said blob. You better fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Wolverine has dog tags, so he's probably exactly the same guy as that other guy you know who has dog tags who kidnap you and experiment on you. Better fight.
Better fight.
Stupid.
It is stupid.
It's stupid. It's a stupid movie.
It's a stupid movie. I don't like it, Mason.
Yeah.
The effects are bad. It's not just the claws.
The
claws
effects are
atrocious
bad.
in this.
Yeah. The bone claws are fine.
Yeah.
But
I think they're mostly real though.
Yeah, but the idea being, I think that when
They're new and shiny.
that he gets his new adamantium claws, and so they're fresh and shiny.
Yeah.
But they look
well,
awful.
you see them like the practical ones, like on set for the behind the scenes stuff, and they don't look that much better. They're way too shiny and way too smooth. But there's other stuff like there's a part where Sabretooth throws Wolverine into a car. It looks really bad. There's a moment where Sabretooth scratches the hood of a car, Gavin Hood. That looks really bad. There's a bunch of half-finished or just not very good special effects in this that I do not care for. And of course, there's Deadpool.
There is a cool truck flip though.
Truck
I think there's
flip.
a moment where
Truck in a flip.
there's a moment
I
where
will say
Wolverine, he
Deadpool
cuts,
is, like, the
down
worst
side
part
of
of
the
the show.
Humvee and he flips it towards a helicopter.
Yeah,
I
I'll
thought
play
that
that.
looked pretty good.
And then
I
the
like that.
That's, like,
explosion
saddest
happens.
stuff.
Oh, he doesn't look at it because he's so cool.
Doesn't need to look at it.
That's right.
He's seen an explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's also some
cool
really bad
guys don't
ADR
look
where
at
Agent Zero talks it
explosions.
before Wolverine kills him, and it's just
Yeah.
it's no good.
Yeah, they changed that. Wolverine was supposed to just stab him, but they're like, well, this has to be PG-13, so we'll light him on fire and
Okay.
we'll have a big explosion.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, but Deadpool. So Ryan Reynolds was told, because he had already signed up for a Deadpool movie or role, that listen, we're gonna do this with or without you, and
We're gonna
That
yes,
sucks.
that's right. This was also during the writer's strike, so Ryan Reynolds has said that like he showed up on the day and the script said Deadpool there and he talks fast. So all that's written and improv by him.
Okay.
Also, wait a
He's got his two guys, a girl, and a pizza place improv skills.
he knows what he, yeah,
knows what
he's a
doing.
comedic man. No, he said, oh, people are going to go nuts over this version of Deadpool. And the executives were like, yeah. And he was like, no, you've misread the way I said that. Maybe my inflection was wrong. People are going to go nuts because this is bad.
I'm employing my trademark two guys and a girl in a pizza place sarcasm there.
Also known as sarcasm.
I said people are going to go nuts over it.
Why would they do it like this, though? Way to play to none of his strengths at all. The studio really thought they were doing something with
Yeah.
this. And the diamond eyes, I saw a behind the scenes thing. It's like, well, you know, the diamond eyes, like the Deadpool, it's like,
Because
he's got
I
laser eyes,
think
Deadpool
I
eyes.
think they went, okay, we're collecting mutant DNA.
Why did
for
they
the
try to
pool,
just
the
try to
Deadpool.
change
it now.
I think the
Deadpool as a
executives thought,
whole?
that'll be really clever and people will like that would work backwards.
Like,
But I-
who thought it was a good
they're wrong,
idea?
'cause they're always wrong.
I think it's really good, actually, that they thought about it a little bit. And also, the way he's controlled. It's like one of those old, like, text command video games.
I have a note here. It just says terrible UI design in the control device for Deadpool. So you have to type out decapitate if you want him to decapitate a guy.
DECAP.
What if you're in a hurry and you do a typo? Get your IT guy to make a decapitate button,
Hotkey.
or
Make it F7.
or do it like 1990s point and click adventure style. Use big sword on Wolverine. Also, if you have a flawless mind control chip
Yeah.
that you can install in somebody,
I want it.
maybe put it in Wolverine. you
Yeah.
know? Or maybe just talk about him in another room where he can't hear you planning to betray
Weren't
him.
they in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, this worked, but he's asleep, which is bad. We should kill him. What are we doing? Oh, he's awake.
Let's erase the memory of his girlfriend. Let's do that.
Yeah,
He'll be cool with that.
he will be cool.
Hey
with
man,
it.
are you cool with that? Cool with that. He's mad now. Why is he mad?
He's running around. He's running around. He's nude. Oh, one of my notes just says nude Jackman. There you
Nude
go.
Jackman, pretty good, yeah. One
Booty
of my notes
cheeks.
just says, lessons learned from a kindly old couple at least half a century younger than you.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think they wanted a Ma and Pa Kent. They wanted an Aunt May.
Well,
kind
there's somebody special. We can talk about it in trivia.
of- Are they?
It's so exciting. I can't even wait to tell you. But
Okay.
we'll all have to wait for it, Mason.
Okay.
I think also the action just isn't really great. A lot of really obvious wire work. Agent Zero, I guess, is a fun idea that's kind of executed poorly. Deadpool, like, cutting up bullets is nothing when he's Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
I just don't, I can't with any of this. The stuff on top of the big smokestack or whatever it is, that's not bad. Like, they're fighting back to back and he's teleporting in and out. I like that idea, but again, it's a bit too late in the game. Yeah. And the ending. It's weird that after everything exploded and Wolverine was like, I'm leaving, Stryker's like, now's the time to attack. You should leave, man.
I have a logistical question. And look, it's probably negated by the fact that X-Men continuity is all over the place and it ultimately does not matter. But I mean, if nowhere else, this is the place to really lock this down.
Yeah.
So Stryker can't kill Wolverine,
No.
but he can wreck his memories like scrambling an egg.
Yeah.
So how he does this is he shoots him twice in the head with adamantium bullets. Now my question is, does Logan then have 2 permanent bullet holes in his skull?
Mm-hmm.
Could you like incapacitate him doing
Oh, that
like
is
a
a-
Three Stooges eye poke? You just stick your
Through his
stick,
eyeballs.
No, you just stick him through the holes in his skull. He's got 2 forehead
Ah.
holes. You could just poke him in there.
I assume the bullets were lodged.
Oh no, they have to go through to his brain.
So they're just rattling around in his brain.
I mean, they're either permanently lodged in his brain, or did they come out the other side? So he's got 4 permanent bullet holes in his skull.
He does whistle when he runs.
Might be it. Somebody must know. Somebody on the production side.
You'd think so.
I
Damn.
don't think they've ever thought about this.
No, absolutely
Because,
not.
like, how would the adamantium heal over his skull? You know what I mean?
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
No, sorry, you're right. It's a great
It's
question.
a great question.
Yeah. Professor X is in this as well. He shows up looking like a cartoon.
Mhm.
And
Do
then
they
all
not
the
know
X-Men
that-
kids run towards the cartoon helicopter on a dreadful looking green screen?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
Don't even put that in. You see
Uh-huh.
Professor X, you cut back to the students, and you're just like, oh, they're safe. They're with Professor X. Who can walk? What year is this set? Is this before or after the flashback in X-Men 3?
This is sort of set in the 80s, right?
It's sort of set in the 80s.
Because the original X-Men movie, like the 2000 X-Men movies, they're set in the near
They
future.
start in like 2005-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, in the X-Men First Class continuity,
Oh, yeah, we get
that's
past
the
that.
60s.
But then there's an X-Men movie where they revisit Weapon X and Wolverine is in there. And I know the timeline has been scrambled like an adamantium brain. But does that mean they recaptured him and put him in the facility and put the computer
Ah.
on him? Oh no, wait, he was captured in Days of Future Past at the end or something.
Well,
Or he wasn't?
I don't know.
God,
it
it's-
also it doesn't
doesn't matter, yeah.
yeah.
We also got a post-credit scene in this, but we got a different post-credit scene in Australia, if you recall correctly.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, so we didn't get the decapitated head pull moment. We got Wolverine drinking in Japan, and he goes, I don't have any memories.
Yeah.
We got the shitty one. I mean, they're both not great, but
The only thing I remember is I love the taste of Foster's beer.
I guess the implication being that the next one will be set in Japan, and it is, but it's not a direct sequel to
No,
this.
it's decades later.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I recall the post-credit sequence of the next one, it has another kind of narrative thread that is carried over into the next X-Men movie, but not really. Again, there's the weird decade break or
Yeah,
decades break. We'll
Yeah.
get to it. We'll get to it next week, I hope.
absolutely. Anyways, it's time for our regularly occurring segment. It happens every week. It's called Thoughts and Prizes.
It doesn't happen every
It's
week.
the return of Thoughts and Prizes, Mason. This is an opportunity for you, Mason,
Yes.
and the watchers and listeners of this video to hear some of my thoughts and win fantastic prizes.
What are the prizes?
What do you mean?
What are the prizes?
The prizes
Yes.
will be revealed when you win.
Interesting.
We've been through this. We go through it every week.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get through your defenses here. Like, this is a whole. It doesn't feel like a scam.
Yeah.
It's something though, isn't it?
Oh, it's something. Just like the prizes. They're
It's
real and there's
nothing.
something, yeah. Here's some of my thoughts. When all the logs rolled on Wolverine, I said out loud, Logan.
Nice, that's good. That's actually a good thought.
That's
Yes.
terrible.
Does that get me any closer to prizes?
Ooh.
Saying your thoughts
It
are
hasn't
good.
hurt it, I'll tell you that much.
Okay, all right.
I liked the bit where he does his little nudie run across the farm. That was fun.
Nude Jackman. That's probably where that note comes from.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I did have an answer before when you were like, does he have adamantium stuff rattling around in his brain, etc. We see an X-ray of his skeleton
Oh, an X-ray.
in the first X-Men movie, and there's no holes in it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're just lodged in there.
Interesting.
I don't know though.
That would mean if you tap the back of his head hard enough, they would pop.
They
out.
might fall out, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. When Wolverine becomes a lumberjack, Stryker turns up and goes, you haven't aged a day. It's been 6 years, man. You all look exactly the same.
Uh-huh.
Weird thing to say. Also, this needs to be mentioned. The game is good.
The game is
that's
so
from this
good.
Movie is good. It's a good game. It's kind of God of War-esque. We've done a video on it on this channel, but yeah, it's worth playing if you want.
It makes me
a better
wonder,
version of this movie.
is-
let me have a look.
Is there anything
no
that that
prizes.
game's on?
Interesting.
Yeah. God, you're having a bad run, aren't you?
I think I'm having a pretty good run.
I mean, if you had a good run, you would have won a prize.
okay, that's
Doesn't normally take this long for
Hmm.
somebody to win a prize. Something must be wrong with this. No, I'm just looking at the system and everything seems to be in order.
there's a
unfortunately.
system.
Yeah.
I want to
We're
play
developing
that.
Some clues here. Okay.
No clues. It's all very transparent. Yeah, you get it.
I don't get it.
You get it. Anyway, it's time for X-Men Origins Trivia. Trivia Origins X... whatever. Scott Adkins.
Triverine?
What?
Triverine.
Triverine. We can
makes
use
me
that for
wonder.
next week.
Okay, great.
Make a note. Somebody make a note.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember to say Triverine next time.
Scott Adkins doubles for Deadpool in the climax because Ryan Reynolds was busy working on another movie.
Oh,
So
Scott
the-
Adkins. He's a stunt performer. He's an actor as well.
I think it was Ben Affleck's Batman stunt.
He's the
double.
big boy. He's the big boy in John Wick 4.
He is a big boy. Yeah. The close-ups of
No, they
Ryan
got
Reynolds are
Arkham
filmed,
Origins.
like of his face and whatever, and everything else is not him.
Damn.
The old couple that Logan befriends, their names are Travis and Heather Hudson. They are the civilian names of Guardian
Alpha
and
Flight.
Vindicator. That's right. The leaders of the Canadian superhero group Alpha Flight.
Oh.
Wolverine's
I mean, not anymore.
no.
Also, you'd think they'd see him and go, "Oh, you
I-
got superpowers like us.
I know
We're an
you."
Alpha Flight."
And we've been on the same team, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd think that. No,
Yeah.
it's just a fun reference that nobody got, including you,
That's great.
despite knowing.
They don't say their names.
Well, exactly. So why do it? What's the point?
To kill him.
Yeah.
To upset people.
Yeah. Wolverine's log cabin in the wilderness was constructed on a hillside in New Zealand. Unfortunately, because of the very noisy and high winds, the set had to be dismantled and rebuilt in studio. Just a big waste of money, that is. Good for you. Logan gets his signature jacket
Oh, hell yeah.
from the old man in the barn. He's an Alpha Flight. However, he leaves it in Gambit's plane before the film's climax.
How's he get it back? to X-Men
Oh,
One?
really?
Well, director Gavin Hood suggests that he would later have another run-in with Gambit, and he would give him his jacket. He'd be like,
That's
"Oh,
great.
you left your jacket."
That's crazy.
And he'd go, "What jacket? Oh, you've lost your memories, but we've did an adventure."
Yeah, you got this. You told me you got this from the two members of Alpha Flight. But they were old and they'd never been superheroes, and they got shot in the head. No, not doing a superhero thing, just in a barn.
Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that the director had to answer that question.
Yeah.
That
So
question
they'd-
was presented to him, and he had to go.
You
yeah,
can't
I
really even
just
find
go,
X-Men
"I don't
Origins."
care," and you shouldn't care either. You've wasted your life, person asking this question.
Chris Hemsworth and Alden Ehrenreich auditioned for the part of Remy LeBeau, Flash Gambit.
Like as in two guys in a trench coat.
Yeah, they did it together.
Well, they would have worn the signature Gambit trench coat, wouldn't
You'd
they?
hope so, wouldn't
yeah,
you?
right.
And Hugh Jackman earned $25 million for this movie, and he did a big workout.
Must be nice.
Here's some footage of him working out.
On top of his piles of money.
Yeah. Now, in terms of box office, it had a budget of $150 million, and the return was 373.1. But of course, as mentioned, a bootleg copy of this movie was leaked online before release. It had no watermark, it had unfinished alternate visual effects, and different font in the credits.
Oh boy.
I know. It was downloaded about 4.5 million times. People say that it did contribute to this not having as high a box office as X-Men 3, but this still did very well, regardless of it being a bad movie and it was leaked. Also, if you want to know the full story of that, I've done a video on it.
Ooh.
It's called The Time X-Men Origins Wolverine Was Stolen.
I'm gonna have to check one of my local game stores
How'd you
to
come
see
up
if I
with
can
that?
find that game.
I thought of.
How'd you come up with that?
That's the
oh,
first
you
thing I
answered it.
thought of.
Okay, that's actually a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah. And it explains.
Explains in the title.
Explains in the title. It's very self-explanatory.
It's a
isn't it?
fascinating story. I mean, a guy goes to jail for it.
Oh God, was it me?
Yeah, it will be you.
Oh.
The trial's coming up. There's a guy who worked at Fox, and 20th Century Fox, of course, made this movie, who did a review of it
Oh, yeah,
before it
that's
came
right.
out and went, it was easy, I downloaded it online.
Oh
He
wow.
got fired. It's a whole thing.
That's
And anyway,
wild.
you're able to trace the source back to how it happened, and it's all in that video.
Was Hugh Jackman the whole time?
Partially, yes.
Oh no!
Yeah. Anyways,
He should be in prison.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
I agree. Hugh Jackman.
Or
got-
he should be in a museum next to Ned Kelly's armor and Far Left's heart, because he's our hero.
He is. I feel like Hugh Jackman going to prison would be like the time Paddington went to prison. Like he'd change the whole vibe of it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
Yeah.
They'd put on a show.
They would. Anyways, if you enjoy these videos, you can
You
enjoy
can.
them early.
You can enjoy them.
You can enjoy them early at bigsandwich.co. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Wolverine and then
Okay.
Logan over the.
See what
Cause
Charlie's-
of death, the biggest smile the world's ever seen.
What the fuck?
The smile's never killed anyone. Until now! Did that jump scare you? Did that send you to meet your maker?
What is why is he so
Anyway,
unhinged
the
sometimes?
reason I'm so smiley today is because after a long time of R&D testing, getting into the lab, combining chemicals like Professor Utonium, all kinds of advanced quantum calculations that would make Terrence Howard's head spin, we have finally perfected the technology required to allow you to come out of my computer screen and play my claw machine. I'm still pointing the wrong
What?
way. To play my claw machine completely through the comfort of your own home. This is what it looks like when you play my claw machine. Ignore the webcam there. I didn't realize I still had it turned on, so I'm just looking like a confused cryptid. And also ignore the frames here. It's a little laggy, but that's because my internet's being throttled and I'm downloading a game right now, so it's looking like Redfall here, going at 5 frames per second. But usually it's nice and silky smooth. Unfortunately, I didn't win anything right there, but I'm just demonstrating how this looks like when you're actually playing the claw machine. It's extremely simple. I'm sure everyone here has played a claw machine at some point, so it's just taking that and digitizing it, just putting it into the cyberspace so you can play the claw machine behind me during streams. Now, it's not in its final state yet. There's still a couple tweaks and changes we need to make because it is just too hard right now. This makes the Elden Ring DLC look like fucking Farmville. I'm dragging you into the 21st century kicking and screaming. Welcome to the future. Get with the program. We've got AI taking over with all kinds
That's
of
sick.
doohickeys shoehorning AI tech into it. We've got auto blow whatchamahoots, and now we've got man, I can't point the right way. We got a fucking claw machine that you can play from your house. I mean, what's next? This kind of magic would have you strung up as a witch a couple hundred years ago, but now, in today's society, it might just have you take home a very expensive item from my claw machine. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is something I've hyped up for like 8 months now, maybe even longer. GamerSup sent me this claw machine, and we thought it'd be really fun to use it as a really interactive thing for streams, so that way Twitch subs or YouTube members could just endlessly play the claw machine behind me and actually win real prizes out of it. So the idea was to use the cups in there and just put like a note card with a prize on it, and I mean like actually good prizes. So a high-end PC, so a Starforge PC, consoles, Xbox, PlayStation 5, Switch.
Really?
Just like bundles of money in there as well. So if you actually win something, you would get that prize. It tracks who wins. It even plays a cute little animation, and then you would give me the address you want me to send it to, and I'd send it out to you so you'd get your PlayStation, your PC, merch, whatever. And we've been talking on stream about, what would be some cool prizes to see, and we've got some really great fucking ideas. But, like I said, it's a little too hard right now because the GamerSupps cups are very difficult to actually get. Like, to actually pick up with the claw and drop into the victory receptacle. So, the big change we're going to make with that is we're swapping them out with plushies, and I'm just going to tape a note card to it with the prize that you'd win if you win that. That should make it much more achievable. Now, I get this question a lot is, do you have to pay to play it as a Twitch sub or YouTube member? The answer is no. So the way that this works, I'm just going to break it all down. There is a Discord, which I'll put a link to in the description of the video, which is for Twitch subs and YouTube members. When you go to the Discord, it's going to be blank. You have to connect your YouTube account or Twitch account in order to see all the channels. Once you're in there, and once I go live on stream, anyone who's online will enter into a queue system to play the claw machine.
Okay.
And there is a bot that will ping you, send you a DM with a link to play the claw machine when it's your turn. You have a minute to accept the link before it goes to the next person, and if you miss it, well, you just go to the bottom of the queue, and it all just depends on how many people are online and how long I stream for, how many times you can play the claw machine per stream. So it's just a queue system. First come, first serve. It just pings the people. You click the link, you then play the claw machine. If you win, we will then reach out to you to get the address to send the prize to. And that's kind of the way that it works, boiled down into the simplest brass tacks of it. Our engineers really crushed this, to be honest. It wasn't like an easy task, and they nailed it. It's actually working super well. There were a few hiccups along the way that they ironed out super quickly, so I'm extremely happy with how Ian and Nick handled this. Big shout outs to them for this one. It fucking slaps. So the reason that I wanted to do this, that we thought it'd be a good idea, is because I've streamed for years, almost a decade now. And for this entire time, if you subbed to me on Twitch or became a member on YouTube, you got basically fucking nothing for it. Some emotes, whoop-de-doo, yippee, yeehaw, but really nothing super valuable. So I thought this could be a really fun way of making that have some kind of value and some fun, because playing a claw machine is fun, especially if you can win like a big ticket item, Like, to me, it just seemed like it'd be a fun thing to do, to say thanks for the support to the subs and members. So hopefully everyone that's been playing the claw machine has been enjoying it. I know no one's won yet because, like I said, it's just too fucking hard. I didn't realize how difficult it would be to win with the GamerSupps cups in there. I have won one time with the cups, so it is possible, but it's just not really happening. A few hundred subs and members have already played it, and there are still 0 winners. So it will be swapped out with plushies once those come in. For now, it's going to continue to be on Ultra Nightmare mode, I suppose, but it will be tweaked to make it a lot easier to actually win from. So I was just super excited to give you this update that it's fully functional now. It works. So anytime I go live on stream, the claw machine will be turned on and ripped roaring, ready to go. Now, there's another thing I want to talk about. Actually, 2 things. There's one thing that I get asked every single time I go live, and I'm just going to talk about it now. It's about this Gundam right here, and if I've built it, if I plan on building it, like what's the story with the Gundam. So I want to show you that real quick, because there is a story. So this Gundam was actually a gift. I used to build Gunpla when I was younger. I haven't really done that in many, many years now, many moons. But when we were filming a Moist Wrestling League match, we did it at a college. And one of the students caught wind that we were filming a wrestling match, came over, and had some very kind words, and also talked to me about this Gundam model that he had just gotten, and how he'd been looking for it for a long time, finally found it, and then said he wanted me to have it. He then wrote a sweet message on the back, and since then, I just keep it as a pretty special piece in my room. It meant a lot to me, so I don't plan on building it because I want to keep it in tip-top condition, to be honest. Now, there's one other massive thing that I want to talk about here, since I'm kind of just giving an update on things. This one's huge. I'm extremely excited. I've dropped some breadcrumbs about it on stream before. It's the Godslap movie. Godslap is our comic book series. You can see it plastered all over my room. We've been working on Godslap for years. Issue 6 is coming out pretty soon as well, and it's getting a movie. It's a 2D animated feature film by one of the biggest and best animation studios in the world. I have to bite my tongue
That
so
is so
fucking
cool.
hard not to say who the studio is, just because I'm so excited because I love their work. But I'm going to keep that a little close to the chest here because I'm going to wait to show you some of the progress that's coming along with the Godslap movie. I just want to put this out there on everyone's radar that big things are in store for Godslap. We're moving into
Big things
the
are in
next
store for
phase of
Moist.
production
What do you
with
mean,
this,
man?
And I cannot wait to keep you all posted on more. A huge thanks to everyone who's been reading Godslap and getting invested in the universe. It really means the world. So I hope you're as excited as we are about this project. It's so fucking incredible. This is a dream. So yeah, I just had to briefly mention that. I couldn't help myself. I was scratching at the neck. So anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.
Man, well deserved. Well deserved. He works his ass off for this stuff. It's well deserved. That's, if anybody like deserves to be like really winning at like shit and like grinding how much he has. Like, I started watching Moist 2018. My daughter was just born, so 2019. Somewhere around there. I think. I don't know. We can check. We can check. 'Cause I know what video I first watched. Like. Let's go. Oh man, I didn't know he was streaming that long. Definitely not that long ago. Golly. Had to at least be like 6 years ago. Saw had short hair. Oh, okay. Well, all I can say is he still had short hair. It was around the first face cam that he did. I'm pretty sure. Because when I first saw the video, I tried going back to watch more of what he had, and I was confused because there was no face cams. But it's cool seeing that, like, he's changed a lot. You know, like, if you look right here, Gears of War jetpack glitch. Critical's first sniper montage. Skate, free skate in the X Games. Like, it's a lot different than what it is now.
Okay, so we're just coming off of a card headlined by Robert Whitaker and Ikram Alaskarov. It's really crazy watching this now, thinking about Hamzat, because, yeah, Alaskarov got knocked out by him. And here is Robert Whitaker. He just basically earned himself a title shot off this, or at least a shot for a #1 contendership, and that could have been Hamzat. And of course, the issue is, before the event, Hamzat got food poisoning, and to quote Dana White, he was violently ill. And had to pull out of the fight. That's not even the first time this year he's had to deal with big health issues, by the way. And yeah, this all sucks, but it happens all the time, right? Plenty of fighters have injuries or illnesses that get in the way of a fight booking. Yeah, that's all true, but the difference here is, since his explosive, show-stealing performances that shot him to stardom, he's had 3 failed bookings with Leon, missed weight against Nate Diaz, so that was canceled and he ended up fighting Kevin Holland instead. He did end up finally fighting Usman last year, albeit on short notice, and here we are in 2024, and there is another fight that's had an issue, and in this case, totally canceled. Going back to 2020, when he fought 3 times in 2 months and easily became that year's biggest new star, I don't think anybody would have
3 times
guessed
in
that
2
we'd
months
be in
is
this situation
insane.
right now. I mean, yeah, he fought 3 times in 2020 alone and has only fought 4 times in the 4 years since. What the hell is going on here? I'm Jason from MMA On Point. A quick shout out to our Hall of Famers who help support this channel, and this is the most deflated UFC career of all time. And yeah, I understand some people are going to be upset at that title, but guys, it's true. Name one UFC star who's had such an explosive growth and wasn't able to capitalize on it for something other than a loss. Masvidal in 2019, he fought Usman for the belt twice. He also fought Nate Diaz too, and this all had huge pay-per-view sales. And of course, Nate Diaz himself had an explosion after the first Conor fight, and he capitalized on that with the rematch and countless other opportunities since then. He even took on Leon Edwards, which was basically going to give him a title shot if he won. And yeah, there have been guys like
Why he
Roger
taunted
Huerta
rather
over
than
the years
knocking
who
him out,
lost
I'll
on their way
never
up and
get.
didn't really make it all the way. Hamzat's situation
This doesn't make
is
sense to
entirely
me
different
why-
from all that. Hamzat is still
why not
undefeated, and it feels like he should have fought
actually
for at least
knock
a
the
title
dude
shot
out?
in two separate divisions by now. That's what the Whitaker fight was supposed to set up last night, and the Gilbert Burns fight was basically doing at welterweight a couple years ago. So let's talk about what's actually gotten in the way here. Most of us have had COVID over the last few years, and not be a huge deal for most healthy individuals, but clearly what happened to Hamzat was on another level. Way back in 2020, he was booked against Leon for the first time, and in that case, it wasn't just Chimaev who had to pull out due to COVID.
Thank you,
but
thank you.
It was Leon too. Yeah, they somehow both got it at the same time. Again, most of
How
us
you doing?
had COVID, so we all thought this was just going to be a short delay with not too many consequences. The UFC clearly thought that as well because they tried to rebook him just 1 month later, but apparently he was still pretty fucked up from his corona symptoms and
Yes,
he
yes,
pulled out
sir.
again. Surely this would be it though, right? Give it a couple months and rebook and they'd get this thing finalized, but man, again he pulled out for the same reason. Not too long after this was when we started to hear some of the news come out. Front Kick Online released a video the day after this third Leon fight cancellation, and
Can't
this
imagine
was
getting a
way
fight
worse
canceled 3
than
times.
anybody would have thought.
Yeah, go
finished
ahead.
the training
I'm
on
down.
Tuesday. He couldn't even walk up to his room. He didn't even have the energy to go up to his room. Fell
I'm down for
asleep in the
suggestions
lobby.
anytime.
He started coughing, he started feeling ill again, and we had to cancel the training. He complained that he had some chest pains after the training, so we're gonna check the heart as well. He even went
Alright.
with an ambulance to the hospital, and even when he was in the hospital, he called me like when he called me, he thought he was going to die.
Got bronchitis. We had to
Alright.
put him on antibiotics for 10 days, and he's only human, man.
Alright, I will
There's
get that
nothing
up on
we
here.
can do that more than what we're doing.
So clearly with the bronchitis, this was developing into a lot more than just your run-of-the-mill COVID. By March, he went a step further, perhaps just due to all the pressure of the situation, and announced he was retiring. Of course, that didn't last very long, but it was just another
retire
way
off-
things appeared to be getting worse.
Like, when you're
Finally,
doing
we
good,
started to hear from him directly,
wouldn't make
though.
sense
In
retiring.
an interview with Brett Okamoto on ESPN, we finally got to hear about it straight from him.
Like when I was in Sweden, like start to feel me better. Then I feel like 1 week better, like for 1 week bad. I was still training while I was feeling bad. Also, I did house surgery. I did operation here. So they took out some stuff. Like I don't know how to explain in English. And now I feel much better.
But more importantly, he started to show that, yeah, he might be coming out of this whole thing soon.
Now, just start to train with my team and.
Oh, that you can fight
somebody
soon.
to kill.
So I said he's
Find
been
somebody to kill.
like ill.
It took a few more months, but finally in October of 2021, Hamzat was back and the excitement was off the charts.
And even yesterday, in 20 minutes, his stare down with Lee did 1 million views.
Of course, Hamzat would deliver in his performance as well, not only regaining his hype despite all the troubles over the previous year, but definitely growing it too. Not to mention putting together Luke's favorite post-fight speech moment of all time.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Kill everybody.
And with his reputation of taking
As
fights
aggressive as
anywhere,
hell.
anytime, any place, the assumption was that we see him pretty soon. While it did end up taking a few more months, what we got is probably his best opponent to date at the right time. You would want to say Usman, but that was last minute, a weight class up after he'd already lost the title. The difference in this fight with Burns was that it was meticulously planned on both ends. If you haven't seen this video from MMA Junkie detailing his preparation for that fight, you gotta see it. He was beyond ready for this one.
Round might be second, third round might be late on the first round, but the way I see it's gonna be a finish.
There was a thing of
Boy,
Gilbert
that fight
Burns and
delivered. That was probably the
Ian
best
Gary
fight of 2022.
talking
Pretty much
after the most
guaranteeing
recent
the
fight
man
that
a
Ian
title
Gary
shot
had with
next. There
Michael
was
Venom
just
Page.
one little tiny thing that happened.
And
though.
that was quite hilarious because they were talking about the rear naked choke he was trying to get him in. Jesus Christ, that head kick is crazy.
So yeah, Khamzat was already booked against Nate Diaz just 1 month after Usman's shocking loss to Leon Edwards, but that head kick would mean an immediate rematch, so it'd be a while before Khamzat would be able to get himself into that welterweight title picture while that was being rebooked. And while the Nate Diaz fight was widely criticized because it was Diaz's last fight, he was 37, there was a bunch of issues with it, but despite all of that, the overall fan sentiment was that this was just pretty much a big name on his way to a title shot. And it had the bonus of keeping him busy while they were trying to rebook that Leon Usman match. But man, did so much go wrong with this fight. There was this whole backstage situation that was released way too late after it all happened that canceled the press conference.
Yeah, this ain't gonna happen. I apologize, everybody. I am in very weird watershed. This has never happened in the history of this company. So, for everybody's safety, this is the right decision.
And if that
I
whole
don't even know what
situation
happened.
wasn't enough, Khamzat was not actually able to make weight for this fight. And apparently it was the UFC's fight doctor who made the call, but Khamzat probably didn't help himself by flipping everybody off when he missed on the scales by 8.5 pounds.
Chechen motherfucker, shut up, guys. And I'll fuck you boy up. I fucking backstage as well.
So as a result of this
Fucking
fiasco, the
backstage as
UFC
well.
switched up his match
Yo.
with Kevin Holland while Diaz fought Tony Ferguson.
That's
Kevin
wild.
Holland was going to fight D-Rod at 180, so they were a little closer in weight to where he missed. So yeah, this was one of the most
That's
chaotic
wild.
fight weeks I've ever seen. And while Khamzat looked spectacular against Holland, it was the first time the fan base had really started to, frankly, turn on Khamzat. The boos throughout the entire event are enough to demonstrate that.
Gotta go for everybody. I can't run right here. Let's go now.
And to add another layer here, Dana White had begun insisting Khamzat should move up to 185 since he missed so badly against Diaz. So all that work at welterweight was pretty much scratched, and he had to start over at middleweight where he had just one win in the UFC against an unranked guy.
That
Pretty
sucks.
far cry from having a win over Burns, as highly ranked as he was. And yeah, for the next year, there wouldn't really be any movement for him, and this is where the plot really thickens. Khamzat Chimaev just so happens to be from Chechnya, which, if you don't know, is the neighboring republic to Dagestan, where Habib and Islam are from. Both Chechnya and Dagestan are part of Russia. There's an incredibly complex history between Russia and both of these republics that manifested into many, many wars over the centuries, and one of the worst of these conflicts took place in the 1990s while Khamzat was still living there. It was just after the fall of the Soviet Union, and Chechnya saw this as an opportunity to secede from Russia. Russia didn't like that very much and decided to invade.
People never see that.
Yeah, Russia doesn't seem to like that type of stuff.
There. They think like, yeah, it's normal when you see on TV, like movie, you know. But when you is there, you don't want to be there. It was everywhere military, you know, like come to your house and check your house and everything. I don't know why it happened, these big things that kill people, and why
That's
we can't
sad.
live like normal, you know.
That's the reason his family left the Republic, because of all the turmoil and devastation involved, and that's how he ended up in Sweden. Since then, the Kadyrov family has emerged on top and managed to get control of the region while also restoring ties to Putin and, of course, Russia in the process. Akhmad Kadyrov was the one who made this all happen and would be assassinated by competing factions in the country after becoming president because they still wanted to be independent from Russia and they saw it as a betrayal. So it was his son Ramzan who took over in his wake. It's an absolutely wild, wild story that I think is way beyond the scope of this channel to expand upon further than that, but it's incredibly important to realize that while Khamzat had left due to the hell of war in the 90s, by the mid-2000s, order had begun to be re-established there. And it just so happened that Ramzan is a massive sportsman who began to become incredibly invested in the sport of MMA. He began his own gym, his own promotion, and has since merged with ACB to become ACA, which stands for Absolute Championship Akhmat, naturally named after his late father, and it's become by far the biggest promotion in Russia. So by the time Chimaev's career emerged in 2020, Kadyrov was thrilled to have him representing Chechnya by way of Sweden. And he
Dedicating
quickly
it to his
began
father.
connecting with
That's pretty dope.
Chimaev and showering him with huge, massive, extravagant gifts.
And you know, if you compare the life of an Akhmat MMA professional fighter, certainly those in the top tier, to the kinds of lifestyles that most American pro MMA fighters have to eke out, there's no side-by-side comparison possible. Kadyrov gives them a salary. Kadyrov pays for all their travel and training. Kadyrov makes sure that they want for nothing. When they win, he gives them cars and houses, and not just any cars either. $100,000 Mercedes AMG.
Jesus.
So you might be asking yourself, why is all of this relevant? Well, Kadyrov is an extremely controversial public figure. Plenty of human rights violations. And guys, it's as simple as this. He's been called out for human rights violations by many watch groups. The US has officially sanctioned him for these alleged crimes in 2020. And because of all that, his association with Kadyrov is what is creating problems for Chimaev. And in fact, I'll actually read it to you. This is the official wording that the Department of State in the United States used on their website. Quote, "This designation is due to Kadyrov's involvement in gross violations of human rights in the Chechen Republic. The department has extensive credible information that Kadyrov is responsible for numerous gross violations of human rights dating back more than a decade, including torture and extrajudicial killings." So,
wow.
Yeah, it's been widely reported that this is one of the larger reasons Khamzat Chimaev has been unable to get a fight booked inside of the US. The failed booking with Paulo Costa was in Abu Dhabi, and of course the replacement fight with Usman took place there too. Of course, this fight with Whitaker was supposed to happen outside of the US in Saudi Arabia. Kareem Zidane reported with Sports Politica that multiple sources have confirmed his issues with UFC at the moment are directly due to his ties with Kadyrov and trying to get a visa into the United States. Obviously, that's where most of the fights happen, so there's the issue. The point is, it's believed this is the reason Khamzat has sought citizenship elsewhere like Abu Dhabi in the hopes of being able to obtain US visas in the future to get booked in more fights. So it's basically a super fucked situation, and I think it's important to note that Khamzat doesn't really have a lot of power to say no to Kadyrov, considering his family is from Chechnya. And if you disrespect a guy like that by spurning his gifts and extravagant gestures, the consequence...
We are gonna search this up. Is it this one? I bet.
Warning. Video contains lethal amounts of cringe. Viewers' discretion advised.
Dude, I'm so hungry, bro. You trying to go out to eat somewhere? Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, there's some new place that opened up near the school. We could probably go check that. Hey, wait, there's a commercial for it. No way. Come on down to Al Stew's Grill and Booze. Try our new handmade turkey sandwich, crafted from our 5-star chefs. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah. But don't take our word. Let's hear it from the customers. It's giving bus. What? Wow. This sandwich is so... not mid. No one even says from our new kitchen setup to deliver your food right.
I could imagine. I can imagine Seth being like that.
Hey, that's lit. Sheesh! Let him cook. Oh my God! No. What are they doing? No. Who made this? And don't skip out on an enthusiastic meal for the young ones. It even comes with. Oh my God, Daddy! I got a toy. Really? Well, what is it? It's the brand new 1, 2, buckle my shoes. What?
I forgot about that sound. All right. I'll give it to him.
Why? No.
That's a good one.
So what are you waiting for? Get your goofy down here and enjoy yourself a meal. We stand with Al Stew. Slay.
All right. We're going to the next one.
Contains lethal amounts of cringe. Viewers' discretion advised.
Man, there's gotta be some good place to eat, but we can't find anything. Yeah, I know. But wait, I'm pretty sure that one restaurant got remodeled. We might be able to... Hey, what are the odds? This is a commercial for it again. Come on down to Kai Tai's Grilling with Guys, the new and improved Al Stews. Start out with our cheesy hand-rolled pizza, served to you when it's hot and ready.
Why?
It's better than last time. Yeah, as long as they don't completely ruin it with... Wow, this pizza really goes tough. Oh, God. Hey, Jim.
I don't like that one.
Wait, I forgot. He can't end his mewing streak. makes no sense. No one even does that. All brought to you from our shiny granite countertops so we can dap you up a meal as quick as possible.
So we can dap you up a meal. No.
Up a meal as quick as possible. Yacht! Now that's
I'm at a loss for words on that one. Now that's risk. My mom said that not that long ago. She was saying about something, and I don't remember what, but it was like, hey, you use that completely out of context.
what the hell are they doing? Who's spending money on these commercials? And don't think we forgot about the children.
No. Please don't.
Act now and get a 2-for-1 deal on the
My bad
crowd
for yawning.
favorite. Okay, kids, here's your Sigma Meal Skibbity Slicers. Oh no, no.
Wait.
Skibbity Slicers. Crowd favorite. Okay, kids, here's your Sigma Meal Skibbity Slicers.
Sigma meal, skippity slicers.
Should have done it. I should have pulled the trigger the first time. So don't wait. Bring the whole family. Phantom tax. Hey, Carson, get back here. That's only legal in Ohio.
Hold on. I love these people.
Hey, I came as soon as I could. How is he? Unfortunately, the infection has spread. There's nothing we can do. We'll do what we can to make him comfortable, but I'd say your goodbyes.
God, I'm sorry for yawning, guys. Jesus.
George?
I'm dying, Theodore.
George?
Yeah, I can talk.
What? Since when? Like, how long?
Questions, questions, questions.
This whole time you could talk. Why didn't you say something?
I guess I was waiting till I had something to say.
Well, what do you want to say?
Do you know what Pizzagate is?
No.
Apparently a bunch of rich elitists are running an underground pedophile sex ring in a pizza shop in Washington, D.C.
What?
Okay.
But at this point, that's old news. Just the tip of the iceberg. And the more I looked around, the more I realized it's all tip. Epstein, the Rothschilds, George Soros. Just shiny little playthings to keep us distracted while we fight amongst ourselves.
I don't understand what you're saying to me.
Yep, I dug deep. I turned the whole thing upside down. I even know who Q is.
What?
I might say that one for later.
Hey guys, hope I'm not interrupting. Just leave it right here for you. Hey George, how you doing, buddy? All right, well, I'll let you guys be. Thanks, yeah.
It's always bananas. They never even ask me if I like them.
George, you know who Q is?
I would go to those anonymous meetings once a week. And one day I looked around and something just clicked.
What? What did you see?
People. Misguided.
Let me fix my damn hair. I need a haircut, man. That's what I need. I need to get a haircut.
People, yes. Angry people, yeah. Hateful people, sure. But people. Lost, flailing, scared. I don't think there's a master manipulator. I don't think somebody's pulling the strings. I think we're all just as lost in this sick little game. 'Cause if you dig deep enough, you get to the ultimate answer. And that's that there are no answers.
George, where's this going?
As I lay on my deathbed, looking down that long, dreary hallway of life I leave behind, I just wish I spent less time snooping around, poking my head in doors, and more time looking at what was right in front of me.
What is that? What was there?
Love. Love, Theodore.
Love.
Because there's so much you can do in this life. That means
What
nothing.
is George dying from, though? Did they say
The
that?
one thing that means anything, and I'm sure of it now, is love. Love, Theodore. Love while you still can. Try to minimize all that bullshit they tell you to do, and just love. Because life can be so damn complicated, and you just want to look around and ask questions. You got no reason to ask questions.
It's a big ass forehead. Thumpity thump, though. Look at that thump.
Inexplicable as love. Because you know there's no answers.
I wanna turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find the things they say just can't be done. I'll share love I find with everyone. We'll sing and dance to Mother Nature's song.
All right, y'all. That is where we're going to call the stream today, though. Oh, well, we'll just cancel that. That is where we're going to call the stream today. Happy 4th. I probably will stream later again today as well. But overall, going to go out with the family, go do some things for the day, as I guess most of you are, as it is the 4th of July. So I hope you guys are out having fun, getting some fireworks, doing whatever, having some fun. Yeah, you guys have a wonderful day and happy 4th of July, and I will catch you guys later. Deuces.